Hello there, I'm Linda Weiner. I'm an author, a certified sex therapist, and co-director of the Institute for Sexual and Relationship Therapy and Training. I'm here to talk today about the most common problem I see in couples that see me for sex therapy, and that's mismatched sex drives. A very common problem that many of you, no doubt, are tuning in to try to address. So today I want to offer some suggestions that include the use of Sensate Focus mindful touching techniques, which I've detailed in a previous video available to you, and also offer some additional options and suggestions that help couples who are stuck in this unpleasant dilemma. So this problem with mismatched desire, it can quite often be addressed with Sensate Focus mindful touching suggestions and some other suggestions as well, which I'll go through with you today. If you need some additional background on Sensate Focus and what it is and how to do it, please refer to my earlier video for this background. I'm going to talk pretty much about different levels of need, but first some background. Sex is a natural function, which is influenced by culture and society, but everyone has their own sort of rate and rhythm, and it's another one of those natural functions, but it's treated differently in our culture. We also have other natural functions like sleep, but in our culture, we don't expect people to sleep the same number of hours or go to sleep at the same time, and so on. Also, appetite for food is another natural function. We don't expect couples to eat at the same time or the same amount. Elimination is another one of those natural functions that we don't insist that couples synchronize. But in our culture, we often have expectations that if one is in the mood for a sexual encounter, the other one will be equally as interested, which is not the case. Early in the relationship, people are often quite passionate, and the problem doesn't come to the attention of the couple until later in the relationship when their own natural level of sexual interest begins to evidence itself. And what often tends to happen then is the one with the higher sex drive is initiating more sex, and the one with the lower drive says, okay, I want my partner to feel loved and cared about, and so they agree to be sexual when they really don't feel like it. But over time, what begins to happen is the one with the lower drive begins to have their drive drop even lower due to the pressure, the guilt, the resentment that can get bred in this cauldron of mismatched libido. So the solution, as I mentioned, is to first reduce the stress by suggesting Sensate Focus touching opportunities to remove the pressure to feel like they want to do the touching, so reducing the pressure is one of the things that these mindful touching exercises that involve touching the whole body without initially any sexual parts being touched. Secondly, it begins to build sexual tension in the partners. So sometimes that alone is enough, but I also want to suggest what I tell my clients, which is, after Sensate Focus touching or at any time, always keep in mind that the one with the lower drive has options. So what are the options? So after a Sensate Focus mindful touch exercise or after messing around on the couch, if one is in the mood and the other is not in the mood for an orgasm, the one who's not in the mood gets the option of asking their partner to go relieve him or herself in privacy. The second option is, hey, you know what, I'll hold you and I'll play with your hair and I'll touch your body while you take care of yourself. Or three, I can manually aid and abet. So the idea is the one with the lower drive never has to feel like they have to match the appetite of their partner. And without the pressure and with the increased stimulation, that mismatch is likely to rebalance, at least in less intense, problematic couple situations. So I hope this gives you some ideas about how a sex therapist might work with your problem, and I hope you'll tune in for additional information on the use of Sensate Focus for a variety of sexual concerns. Thank you so much. I'm Linda Weiner. This has been great. Thank you.